Hello, welcome to Hot Seat Business Coaching. I'm like, where are we again? What are we talking about again? How's everybody doing? Welcome. I'm super excited to dive in with everyone today. We have tons of great questions to dive into. Remember that if you are a part of the Ick-free Sales Membership, you can pre-submit your questions. That's both in an email I sent out on Monday and in the member portal. If you are hanging out as an observer, welcome. Come observe, soak up all the brilliance that we will all be sharing and discussing today. Remember to stay active in the chat. Stay active in the chat, connect with people, give your thoughts, give your advice. I will quickly share, if you're not yet a part of the Ick-free membership, sales membership, you can come and join us here. Emery, what's up? I have your question on deck for today. And I am thinking, did we already kind of discuss this already when we had our one-on-one session? But even if we did, I still would love to talk about your questions. I think it's a really relatable question. So we will get into that today. Who else we got on? Marit, hello. I love that we have the Emery and Marit fan club here. So friends, if this is your first time here, hello and welcome. This is where I dive into your business questions. It's also a chance where you can share your work with me and you can get my eyes on your work to give you feedback on different things that you got going on in your business. If we are new to each other, my name is Lindsay Johnson, aka the Radical Connector. I'm a business development specialist. So what that means is I take entrepreneurs and I help them understand how to develop business, how to do marketing, sales, visibility, all these things so that you can start making money in your business. Belle, welcome. Hi. Are you a part of the membership or just hanging out as an observer? Let me know. Also, I think I'm going to need to close my blinds because I can see the sun is in full force today, and we love that for us out here in BC. But I need to close my blinds because it's a little bit turning me into a ghost. All right, hang on. All right, don't mind. I got some little wind chimey things happening. Jennifer, hey. Hi. Welcome. We got Slavera coming back. Howdy. Oh, Belle, we met at the CGLCC event. Non-member hanging out. Fantastic. Belle, I can't see your picture. It's so tiny for me. Remind me what it is that you do. What is your business? All right, friends, let's get into our first question. I just love your giggle. What's up, Tiff? Thanks. It can be a little silly. I have your question as well too, so thank you for submitting that last minute question. We're going to go ahead and get into the questions in just a moment. I was planning to have them all uploaded into our thing so I could easily share them on the screen. But then I was out for coffee with a business friend this morning and it was just so good. And so I literally just flew in the door right now. So we're gonna get into it. I gotta get a little settled because I'm still in coffee mode. So many Eat for Living sounds good. I'm eating chocolate cake for brunch at the moment. Yes, Jennifer from Eat for Living. She does. She's like how I describe it, and I hope it's proper, is a holistic nutritionist with a specialty on gut health. And I've worked with Jennifer. We worked towards the beginning of the pandemic, and it was awesome. And I found out that I shouldn't be eating the same meal every day. For days on end. Fake news. And one of the biggest keys to gut health is lots of different types of fiber. Definitely connect with Jennifer. All right, you guys, chocolate cake for breakfast. Yes. Love it. A portrait photographer. Yes, that's right. I remember you now. Yes. Love my workshop. Thank you. I did a workshop. The CGLCC stands for the Canadian Gay and Lesbian Chamber of Commerce. Yes, it's an outdated name. They have updated what the words they're using to be more inclusive. But essentially it's a chamber of commerce for queer folks in Canada. So I did an ethical marketing and sales training and it was epic. Okay, so some of the questions I did manage to get loaded up. The first one, Emery. Let's talk about this. As always, I'll share the link here for you to come up on stage with me. Registered holistic nutritionist. There we go. So come up on stage with me, Emery. Let's get into your question. The question is, how do I know a service I want to offer is something my PPC will want? So let's talk about that. In the meantime, while we're waiting for Emery to pop on up here, just a reminder, folks, what do we got coming up here? If you're not already on my email list, come get on my email list here. Whoops, wrong button. And make sure that you subscribe so that you are getting alerts when we're going live, when I've got new videos. What's up, Emery? How you doing?
You guys are all in like
Can't hear you.
Quake for. You can't hear me?
Are you on mute?
You can't
Come on,
hear
Emery.
me? How about now? Still no?
All right, go down to the little settings wheel, the little gear wheel, and change your microphone maybe.
How about now?
Nope. Give it a sec, folks.
Can you hear me now?
Nope. All right, Emery, I'm going to take you off the stage. I'm going to bring you up in a second. Oh, wait. Oh, you're saying, okay, wait. You can all hear her. Hang on. It's a me problem. Oh, it's a me problem. Okay, I'll see myself off the stage, you guys. Imagine if the whole day was just that. Thank you, Jennifer. Okay, let's talk about this. Give us some context for this question. How do I know a service that I want to offer is something my PPC, for folks that are new, perfect potential client or customer? How do I know it's something they'll want? Hit us.
Yeah. So I've been rolling around several different kinds of ideas. You know, like a good little entrepreneur. And I definitely have more clarity after our call for sure. But for example, I want to make an offer for like my own monthly membership type thing where I'm sending weekly emails with a member portal and whatnot. And I've been asking, like, I know, like, step one, ask them, is this something you want? I'm doing that, but I'm still not getting so many responses. Just because I'm still so new that I don't have enough people to respond.
Yeah. Okay. So this is for, so you haven't launched this yet. This is something you're thinking of launching.
Yes.
Right. Okay.
And just in general, like also for the future when I have other ideas.
Yeah.
Like what does that process look like?
Okay, so I mean, yes, if we're wanting to, before we go into creating a full-on course or membership or product, we want to make sure that people want it. Yes.
Yeah.
We want to make sure people also, this is a really important distinction, not just want it, but will pay for it. Because a lot of people will say they want something, but that doesn't mean they'll pay for it. Does anyone here have experience of that, right? Yes, host an event, we'll come. Yes, do this thing, we'll buy it. And then crickets, right?
Classic.
Right. And so just first of all, if that has happened to you, it's not you, it's universal. Okay. So yes, the first thing we do is I mean, it begins with observation. It begins with going into groups, going into organizations, reading forum comments, like reading and getting to know what people are constantly butting up against that you can uniquely solve, right? Or constantly struggling with that you want to address. So I think it's the observation and it's the pulling of data in from observation. Then yes, you can be doing a survey, right? But here's the thing that I want you all to remember for surveys, people are answering those surveys through the lens of their perfect, most ideal self. So even surveys are not fully accurate.
Yeah, that is such a good, wow, that is a really important point.
Right? So we take it, but we understand, again, grain of salt, we take that with. The next thing, potentially, you could run like a focus group, a town hall type thing where you invite people to participate and give feedback and share their thoughts, right? You could be doing some networking calls, some pick your brain calls. Hey, can I grab you for 15 minutes? Can I pick your brain on something I'm thinking of putting together? And really asking questions around, not only what would make you sign up, or what would make you buy this thing? What would be overwhelming and too much? What is it that you really need? And what is it that you think you need? Because there's also people think they need, right? And then things like, how much would you expect to pay for something like this? And what would be the words I would need to say to you that would make you go, yes, that's me. I need that. Right.
Mhm.
So we're asking
Mhm.
really specific questions that are going to give us insight into what we would call the thing, what the sales page would say, the marketing messaging we would say, right?
Right.
Point. And so that if you can talk to people, and I know it's a lot of work, but you're going to get your best results from that. And especially if it's in a group setting, you might get even better results because people are going to play off what other people say, right?
Right.
Kind of go even deeper. And then I would do a test run of it. So let's say it was going to be a membership. Okay, well, can you start with a 4-week or an 8-week fully enclosed thing? And now
Mhm.
your
Mhm.
purpose here is to play with marketing. What's my sales page say? What's my key messaging?
Right.
Where am I promoting it? And what's the uptake, right?
That makes yeah, this is making a lot of sense. And so what I sent out my newsletter today, and what I did, I literally did a like a teaser where I said, um like, subject line, do y'all want a cheap membership?
Yeah.
and and then I said, like, here's what I'm thinking. And then just did like some cheeky, like, but Emery, what does that look like? Well, I'll show you. And then like did a teaser of it and like said, okay, here's what that would look like.
Yeah.
Do you want this weekly? Reply and tell me everything. But I have a webinar coming up in a couple days, and I know everybody who signed up,
Yeah.
and I can just make that part of it and be like, hey, so this is what I'm thinking. What do you guys think of this?
Yeah.
And I can use, there are people who I can kind of group together and like trial it out on them.
Perfect. Yeah.
So that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. Because same with if it was going to be like a course you want to create. Well, don't go full into creating a full on course.
Right.
Start, and I actually always recommend this if you're thinking of doing a course, run it a few times as a beta with a group of people.
Yeah.
Right? Because you're going to be able to refine, because the course has to basically replicate you without you being in the room. And so by running it in a group beta, you're going to get so much data that's coming in and feedback, and okay, they're getting really stuck here, or I'm losing them. Maybe I'm not going to even talk about this, or like it's going to help you develop better curriculum and see where they're getting stuck. So you know where you have to be maybe really heavy on the examples or case studies, or, really walk them through step by step. Don't just assume things. And side note, I know this is again work, but if you're doing a beta live group thing, please watch the replays. You will catch so much more watching the replays than when you're actually teaching or showing up live, facilitating live. Yeah. So always thinking about preliminary research, getting up close and personal research, running a beta some sort of smaller version, preferably where there's a live component, right? And then taking all that and going, okay, at this point now, I should feel pretty rock solid on the struggle, the problem I'm addressing, how I am marketing, the messaging, the words I'm using to promote it, right? The actual strategy, and then how it's going to set up. The other thing for that too, the reason we want to do that is because we might be thinking membership, and then we realize through this whole process that it's not membership, right? It's something totally different.
Yeah, like maybe through this conversation, what I'm going to realize is that they don't want a membership. What they actually want is to sign up for a 3-month group coaching course. You know what I mean?
They want something finite. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Because like, especially when it's with being a parent coach, they might only have one kid, and so that stuff is only the stuff that they want might only be relevant for a year, or maybe not even. They really just needed the one piece of it. So they're not going to stay on for months and months and months just because they got one aha moment and are holding out for one more.
Exactly.
When they would be just as happy being Instagram followers.
Yeah, newsletter subscribers. Exactly. And this is exactly why we do the research. We run it live. We don't just assume what people want. And not that you were doing that, but you know what I mean? We often will have this thing where
I was and I wasn't. It was both at the same time.
Right? We do. This is other thing. And I'm just as guilty of going, but you need this, but they don't want this. They want that. And so there's a saying
Right.
that we always have, sell them what they want, give them what they need. Right.
Yes.
And so, if Vera is on right now, Vera
Oh,
sent me a message this morning saying that they did the thing that I had told them a year ago to do and that it worked. And like, maybe, and I'm like, yeah,
we
because
talked about this, didn't
right.
we?
Like, I'm like, I'll tell you what to do because it's what you need to do. But if it's not what you want, I got to meet you where you're at. And that's an important thing in service-based entrepreneurship, friends. We got to remember we have to meet people where they're at, right? And then take them to where they need to go to. So I love it. I want to share a couple of comments. So Marie, we have every single self-questionnaire is to a certain amount based on ideal self. And usually people themselves don't realize that 100%. Vera just said, I just got here and I heard my name. Michelle, Vera is what Michelle, Vera is Michelle's chosen name. So this is Vera.
Oh, we got you. Okay.
Yeah, if you're ever in the Facebook group and you're like, who's this Michelle person?
Yeah, I was like, we didn't say anything about a Michelle.
Why is Michelle stealing Vera's whole business?
Vera, I was like ready to like take up your mantle. And
yeah, they're on the wrong Google account. By the way, friends, I just shared the link to the Facebook group in the comments if you want to join. Marie said, "I'd figure running a beta group would be good also for nurturing the community and the fans and the most potential long-term clients." Exactly. It's market research, it's reputation building, it's product testing. Yeah, it's all those things. There we go. No, Vera's back. Sweet. Okay, good. All right. Do you feel good on that question?
Yeah, yes, I do. I think part of it is just that, like, because I'm sure that being new has something to do with it. It's just that, like, I don't have such a solid following of people yet. Like, I don't have the reliability and the numbers. Like, I have people who love what I do, but they don't see themselves in it because they're like, well, my day-to-day is pretty good. So I'm just kind of struggling with how to be super relatable to the people who are like, well, I don't really need much. And to the people who are like, I need everything because my day-to-day is wrecked.
I'm trying to think.
That's like a personal.
What can I answer in that? So based on what we talked about, what do you see as your next step forward then?
I think now that I have clarity in my messaging, I think it will naturally fall into place. And like, as I continue to offer, like now that I have the clarity of having my webinars be for lead generation, and so I'm not going to fuss around with making them paid things. It's just something I can offer. Like, that's still in the same way that all of your live fireside chats and this and that are attracting all of these great people, whether they're paying or not. It's a great audience.
Yeah.
That model makes a lot of sense for me, because the people who are like, yeah, just every so often, I just want to check and make sure that like my parenting is in alignment with my values. I think it will naturally fall into place. And I think I just need to be a little patient, possibly.
Yeah, because
I've been doing this for 4.5 months.
I was literally just gonna say, everybody, please listen to this, okay? Stop creating new products and programs and services, okay? Come back, Henry, come back.
I'm feeling attacked. I need my emotional support blanket.
Stop creating new stuff. If you have something that you know people want, go. Create content, sure. Public speak, of course. Build community, yes. Network, 1,000,000%. To sell that one thing, start making money. start growing your business. You can ideate and create new things down the road. But if and this isn't just for you. I mean, again, please understand this is everybody, okay?
Yeah. No, I don't take that personally at all.
Right? Like, yeah, Marie, we need patience pills, because if you keep ideating and starting something new, you're never going to get traction. You're going to be like, like a cartoon, I don't know, rabbit on the ice skates. Like, you're just going to be like,
Fred Flintstone.
Yeah, like,
oh, did everybody see that we said it at the same time?
Okay, all right. So, friends, I'm going to kick you off in just a second. You're feeling good?
I'm feeling great. Thank you. I needed just a little bit of tough love.
A little tough love. I love it. I love it. Come up on the stage.
Okay, bye.
Thank you so much. Yep, Tiff, come on up. I shared the link for you there in the chat, so come on up. Yes, friends, please stop creating new programs and products and services. Let your business get traction. Start making money. Okay. Start getting your reputation built, your brand built, your connections built, right? Getting people talking about you out there in the world. All right. And then when you're making good money and you can then, maybe hire some help and support, you can then start creating new things. All right. But I know it's so tempting because we have so many great ideas. We have so many things that we can do, and we see so many problems that we can address. Okay. You'll get there. What's up, Tiff? How you doing?
I'm fantastic. How are you?
Good.
I still haven't brushed my teeth or anything. So yeah, and it's 3:30 here.
I was like, you didn't have to tell on yourself because we can't smell it through the camera.
That's okay.
But is that
I have a problem with telling on myself. I just do it all the time.
That's like me saying I was out playing around with a friend and I just rolled in right before we got started. I thought I had 10 minutes. I got home and I was like, oh, we're going live in 2 minutes.
It's okay. Authenticity, right?
Right. Okay. So let's talk about your question. I had to shorten a little bit to make it fit, but you said I'm in a bunch of postpartum anxiety support groups on Facebook. None of them ones I'm in are run by professionals, but they're moms creating spaces for moms in need. Any ideas of how you can reach out to the group admins to collab? And you talked about basically 90% of the things they're talking about are things that you can help with.
Yes.
Okay. This is a fantastic question. I'd love to hear in the chat if anybody else anybody else uses Facebook groups in their business in some capacity or another. Okay. This is Facebook groups, but this is really any group or organization that you're a part of where you can recognize, oh, there's such a need here. And before we go into answering the question, can I ask you, because I think people will relate to this, tell me about the pressure you feel when you read those things and you're thinking, oh my, yeah, tell us about that.
Yeah, it's like I just want to be like, hey, I can help all of you guys. Like, why don't you all get on my email list? Like, I even want to be. I mean, and now I started doing this free support group, so that's the other thing. So it's like, of course, come to my free support group. And I'm thinking, if I were the admin, of course, I would want to share this with my people. But then at the same time, they don't know who I am, so they don't want to send people to me because who knows? So yeah, but it kills me because it's like I just watch and I read all the comments too. So it's not even the posts in there. It's all the moms under the post going, yeah, I had that too. And I did this and that. And I don't, and they're all like, just hang in there. And I'm like, no, there's more you can do.
That's not, it's like when I'm in a group for entrepreneurs. I'm like, no, and a good strategy.
Yeah.
And a good action plan.
Yeah. So like, I get it when it's a group run by, because I have a small group, you have the group. Like I wouldn't go in your group and be like, hey, and try to like take your business away. But when it's people who like, when my babies were little, I started my own little local group and became huge. Like it would have been great if I could say, hey, any of you guys who are struggling, go see this person. So how do I, how do I like pitch to them? They're just like stay-at-home moms, are ready for that, I guess.
I love that. So
my connection is either bad or yours. I don't know.
Talk about that. And actually, while we're doing that, I'm gonna get you.
Lindsay, you froze for me.
Hang on. Am I back? There we go. I think I'm back. Am I back?
You were.
All right.
You're good now. Yeah.
I can't. My computer friends are getting so full. I can't open up YouTube and this. That was my fatal flaw. I should not have tried opening up YouTube. I'll share it after. I have a book, and you can also go into my videos. It says how not to get kicked out. I think is the thumbnail.
Oh
And
yeah, that's right.
right, how to engage in Facebook groups, because I go through this. So I think the very first thing I want to establish for everyone, number one, is you're going to feel pressure to want to help everybody and want to go in and rescue everybody, and that's totally normal. So just make sure that if that is the energy you have, please go listen to your favorite song and shake it off, because we don't want to go into any kind of engagement with that level of pressure and heightened sort of like, right? So first of all, let's get in the right frame of mind. Secondly, we need to understand that Facebook groups are for networking. Think of it as going to a party, right? You wouldn't go into a party and start pitching yourself to the person you've just met, right? This is a social group for socializing, all right? So yes, to Tiff's point, I talk about that in the YouTube video. We wouldn't go into a group of somebody who does the exact same thing that we do and start getting in there to try to be the expert, because that would be kind of a dick move, because it's not our group, it's their group. But in this kind of situation where there is nobody doing what you do, but it is the right people, great. We want to approach it from two perspectives. As you said, how do I reach out to the admins to talk about collaborating? So that's easy. Reach out to the admins, right? Send them, you can tag them if you want to say sending you a DM, right? Or you can just DM, because it'll go in their requested folder, right? You could try to add them as a friend, and but I would just go into the DM and just say, hey, I'm so-and-so. I am loving this group. It is so supportive. Man, oh man, do I wish I had this when I was at this stage of my life. This is what I do. Do you think there would be any value to us doing a Facebook Live together to talk about some of these questions I've seen coming through?
Good. Yes. Okay.
Right. So again, the purpose is to do a Facebook Live. The purpose is to connect, right?
Got it. Right.
And you're coming with an idea, with a solution. So do that. And then be prepared for any type of answer. It could be a no, we don't do that kind of stuff. It could be I'm already working with somebody who comes in as an expert. Or it could be, oh my gosh, yes, please. Right? Yeah. So that's from the admin perspective. Now from engaging in the group, there is no reason you can't go in and answer questions. So we don't necessarily want to, we can see someone in the background.
You're on live on YouTube.
Oh,
hi.
What's up? Can I grab cash just in case?
Go. Yeah. Can I grab cash? And then his friend says, me too. Because they're like, she's busy. She's just going to say yes.
So yes, go into the Facebook groups, answer questions. If someone asks a question and you've got to answer, share your answer. And I always recommend answering the question, not linking to a resource or a blog or a podcast. Like, answer the question. The reason for that is that one person that asked the question, there's 20 other people watching for the answer, right? So you want to answer the question. And then if I typically will answer the question and then ask another one to kind of get a bit of a conversation going. And then once there's a conversation going, I might say something like, do you want to hop on my email list? I share these kinds of things. Do you want to join my Facebook group? Do you want me to share a podcast I did? Do you want me to share a blog I wrote? Do you want me to share a workshop replay that we did? Right? So then I will ask permission from them to share a link.
Right.
Here's where you have to be very aware of the group rules. If you're not allowed to share links, then you would say, can I DM you? Right? Can I direct message you? And if you are allowed to share links, then share links, but always get consent. Ask for permission to share. And so that's how I would take it. I would go to the admin about doing a Facebook Live or something really cool, right? And then I would engage in the group and answer the questions, get a dialogue going, and then ask if you can DM them, right? Either, again, join my Facebook group, get on my email list, consume this piece of content.
Love it.
How does that feel? Is that what you've been doing?
Yeah, so I will answer questions. So my problem is I don't like to hang out on Facebook, so I go in the groups and it's like, I know I got to spend time in there. So like people will start seeing me and stuff. And then I'm like, I don't want to be on here. So I just want to like cover it in one shot. We're like, hey, let me share my support group or whatever. But yeah, I guess if I just make like a point to spend a half hour few times a week in these groups, then I'll feel more comfortable, I guess. But I like the idea of asking to do the live together.
Yes.
And it's not just like pitching me off. Like they're not just like putting these people in my hands. They're jointly.
Well, and because what we want to think about is we want to, first of all, yes. And I do recommend, if Facebook groups is a part of your strategy for anybody, spend a half an hour a day. Right? maybe half an hour twice a day. Maybe you post in the beginning of the day and then at the end of the day.
Right.
The strategy.
Yeah,
No,
you
did I
can
lose
think of
connection? Shoot. Hang on. I think I lost connection again.
No,
Can
you're
you hear
back.
me? Okay. Friends, my internet, the bane of my existence right now. I just keep losing connection. Okay. So I was saying to spend a half an hour once, twice a day. And I want you to understand if hanging out in Facebook groups is a core part of your lead generation, your business development, your reputation building, right? That's work.
Yeah.
So schedule it in your calendar
Right.
because that's your work. You have to
Right.
do it.
Yeah.
Right.
You're right. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I love that. And then just, yeah, again, it's just, I want you to be thinking about showing up and continuing to be a recognized name that pops up when someone asks a question.
Right.
Because then next thing you know, people will be tagging you in someone else's
Yeah.
question. They'll be sharing, hey, have you seen tips, blah, blah, blah for this, blah, blah,
Right.
blah.
Right.
Okay.
Sounds good. Awesome.
Cool.
Thank you.
All right. I want to share some of the, hang on. we've got Emery losing her mind.
Why?
Yeah, we've got good questions. We've got Slavera saying that they also use Facebook groups to network. Marie is saying trying to figure out how to use Facebook groups and how much time to put into those. And yeah, you heard me say, and sorry, I'm just answering questions. If you're like, I don't want to be up here, you can leave, but you can hang out too to answer questions with me.
Okay.
But like Marie, I was just saying, if you can do 30 minutes twice a day, on the days that you commit to being in Facebook groups, you'll see things start to really pick up. Yeah. Yeah. Again, like I said, this is your work. This is me working. If you were an employee, this is you working, right? Just hang in there like a cat hanging on a tree branch. Yeah. Being a conversation starter. So let's talk about that for a second, Tiff. And everybody, the conversation starter in groups. Okay. Honestly, people that come into Facebook groups and like think that they're adding value by sharing some sort of motivational thing, it's icky, right? Like you can all tell them they're going to come and educate with, did you know, and
Yeah.
those, I want you to go look at the actual engagement on those because it's usually relatively low because it feels very forced and inauthentic. So friends, in your Facebook groups that you're engaging in, you can do those, but pay attention to the engagement. Go look at past engagements from like comments from other people. See which ones are getting engagement and which ones are falling flat. Right. But what you can do is ask questions. Hey, I'm looking for this. I need a new book for this. What do you recommend? Or I'm looking for a podcast. What do you recommend? And then you can get the conversation starting inside. Oh, tell me about your favorite podcast. Why did you choose that one? Oh, I listened to this one too. So if you want to get that going,
that's a good one.
Right. But honestly, you can just answer questions, and that can be what you do.
Okay.
Right?
Go put it on my list. Put it into my schedule. Thank you.
Fantastic, Marie. I don't like motivational things, but sharing something personal engagement with their personal content. Exactly. I believe in engaging other people's content. Sweet. Okay. Thank you so much, Tiff. We'll see you soon.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. And then Tiff. This is now. Wait. Oh, this is from Emery. Anyways, other Tiffany Hawthorne. If you're there, please come and join me. We'll dive into your question next. And then Emery, you said that you're ready to rock on your podcast now, so we can do that and post it in there too. So Tiff, in case you missed that one, Emery started their podcast after much peer pressure from all of us in the Facebook group, or was it here? we got you going. You got yourself going. All right, Tiffany Hawthorne, if you're here, let me know because we're going to bring you up and we're going to dive into your question next. It is a long one, so I'm going to read it and then share a little bit of it here in the, I'll share the screen. So it says, I recently started leaning more into my identity as an Ick-free copywriter. And it feels like ever since I did that, business has been slower than ever. It's made me question whether maybe people are so used to being manipulated that when something isn't pushing needlessly into their pain points or using scarcity and urgent tactics, it isn't as effective. Do you have any advice for those who are committed to doing things in a way that feels good, but aren't getting results as quickly as we expected or needed? That is such a fantastic question. And Tiffany, I'm going to go into that right now. So if you are here, come join us. And if you're not, that's fine. I'm going to go into this anyways. Okay. So 100%, I will say that by not using manipulative tactics, you might find that you do grow. Oh, so that's you guys talking. You may find that you grow, maybe not slower, but like people that manipulate people into making a purchase are probably going to grow a lot faster because they don't care who they're selling to. They don't care if that thing is right for that person. All they care about is meeting their sales goals, right? So they're going to manipulate and coerce and have that sell at any cost tactic that they're going to use to pull people in. That's just going to happen, right? So there is that balance of being okay with holding out for the people who actually need what you want, and not just selling to anybody to meet your sales goals, right? So there's that component. But there is this thing that we can do as copywriters or marketers where we say, I don't want to manipulate, so I'm not going to lean into pain points. But sometimes that goes too far the other way, because if we don't address the struggle that people are dealing with, we don't address the problems that they're facing, they don't understand that we understand them, right? So it's this balance between, I'm trying to think if I can think of an example. Like, let me think about if I were me. Like if I were to say like, oh God, I would never say this, but like you're so afraid to sell that, you're going to end up completely broke and living on the streets and on your parents' couch because you're not going to ever make it. And you're, like if I like painted this horrible picture, I was like, so you better learn to sell. And I'm the only person that's going to teach you to sell, or we do things like, like, this is the scarcity thing, right? Like I only have 3 spots available for the next 2 years. And so if you're going to not get in right now, you're never going to get a chance to work with me ever again. Like, I don't know, these are terrible examples, but there's this thing, my prices are going to be quadrupling in the new year. So if you don't buy it at this price, it's going to be, $2,000 an hour to work with me. Like there's these things people do that manipulate through fear, manipulate through scarcity, manipulate through like time pressure, right? So no, we don't do that. No, we don't do that. But if we don't talk about things like new entrepreneurs start businesses based on passion and purpose and excitement, enthusiasm, but selling freaks them out. And if we don't learn to sell, your business is going to suffer. You do need to learn how to sell, right? That's just like speaking truth to it, right? Oh, I'm not hearing you. Oh no. Was I gone? You're back. Missed you. Oh gosh. Was I gone? I swear to God. It's toward a Zeus. Anyways, so saying things like that, saying things like, 5 reasons entrepreneurs hate selling. Number 1, they're uncomfortable bragging about themselves. Number 2, they don't know how to sell and are totally overwhelmed and panic. Number 3, they don't want to come off as icky or manipulative, right? So talking about these things is not leaning into pain points, right? It is not trying to twist a knife into the wound. It is calling out the reality. And so people, when they hear me say that, go, that's exactly what I'm feeling. You get it. So by not talking about the pain points or the problems or the struggles, by not talking about that, we do risk not connecting to our customer because they don't get that we get it. So I would love for anybody to sort of share in the chat, or if anybody wants to even join me live to talk about maybe how we can shift what you're saying if you're worried that you're leaning into the pain points too hard or you're not leaning into it enough. Let me know in the chat, or let me know if you want me to come up and bring you up on stage real quick. But yeah, we need to talk about the problem. To not talk about the problem is a mistake. That not talk about the problem, you are going to lose people. So that was my really weird, awkward, long-winded answer for that. And if you want me to give you some feedback, let me know. That you need to talk about that. So the 2 takeaways from what I just said was, it's okay to grow slower if you're going to be waiting for the people who need what you want. You're not just going to manipulate and get the sell at any cost. And then number 2, you do still have to talk about problems, struggles, pain points. You just do it in a way that is relatable. I get you. I see you. I hear you. You're not alone. Not your world will end if you don't address this. Emery, literally share everything we talked about. Does this sound familiar section from my website. Let me pull your website up really quickly. Hang on. I'm going to try sharing it and hopefully not completely break my computer right now. Hang on a second. Share screen. Entire screen. Okay. Love it. Here we go. So we've got Emery's screen here. Hang on. Let me take your comment down. So you said everything on talked about does this sound familiar section from my website. And where was that does it sound familiar? Oh, you've already changed your website since we had our session. Fantastic. Yes. Did you say it was on your does it sound familiar section? Where do hang on. I'm trying to scan that. Look at you with the Santa hat. Where is the does this sound familiar? Is it in services? Yep, there it is. Okay. Yeah, the way you just reacted to your child wasn't ideal, but you had no other options. Your kid is more in charge than you are. You say the same thing over and over and over, nothing changes. Yeah, this is such a great example of being relatable, and I get you, without being like doom and gloom and the world is over and let me try to manipulate you. The question we always need to be just asking ourselves is I guess, like, what is my intention behind what I'm writing, why I'm writing this? And am I writing this to try to scare somebody or make people feel bad about themselves so they'll take action, or guilty, right? If I were reading this, would this make me feel bad about myself? Like, because there are times, like, even for my own like website or sales pages, I'll write something and I always like to give it a few days to kind of sleep on it, revisit it. And I'll come back to it and I'll be like, God damn. And you all know I could be real direct and sometimes kind of like harsh a little bit. And I'll read that. I'm like, geez, Linz, like, it's a little intense, don't you think? Right? So just really thinking about, is it relatable or is it scary? Right? Oh my goodness. Okay. Fantastic, friends. Okay. Let's go into our next one. Is it Beth Ann's bling? It's Elizabeth. Elizabeth, are you here? Are you here? Because this is what we're going to go into next. Elizabeth. See, now I would normally have all this done ahead of time, but there we go. All right, Elizabeth, if you're here, come and join. I posted the link in the chat here. And the question is, how do I build... Oh, that's you, Slavera. Yes. Come on up. Slavara. I always say Slavera. I'm putting the E and the A and reversing it. Yes, come join us. And it says, how do I build my confidence enough to put my face on camera? I have autism and tend to look like a robot when on camera. Fantastic. Let's talk about this. Yes, let's talk about it. Tell me if anybody else in the comments here, tell me if that is relatable for you. I do think that's a highly relatable thing. I think a lot of people can relate to that. Hey, what's up? How you doing?
I am nervous, but I'm good.
I'm really proud of you for coming on camera with me. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, don't worry. I'll lead the way. I'll guide you. I won't hand over hosting to you, so it'll hopefully be less pressure. Okay. So friends, I'd love you very much to engage in the chat with us on this one and tell us your thoughts too. So my first question is, what kind of experience do you have showing up on camera so far? Tell us some of the things that you've done.
I've done Facebook Live. I think that's about it. I mostly have done Facebook Live, and then I've had some experience teaching class in person and then having somebody video me.
Like video it. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
And what do you notice is sort of maybe let's talk about the self-talk before you go live. Like I don't want us to get too deep. Remember that we're public, okay? But just what are some of the thoughts that kind of go through your mind before you go live or before you go on camera? What are you telling yourself?
I'm mostly like rehearsing what I want to say in the class or what I want to do, what points I want to make, things like that. And then I forget everything that I wanted to say when I get on camera.
Do you bring notes with you?
I haven't. I've done like bullet point notes. So that's really helpful when I'm doing a class in person. But when I'm on camera, I don't it's usually my business partner telling me we need to do a live, and I'm like, okay, I'll do it. And then I get on there and I'm like completely robotic.
Okay. I love that. Listen, first of all, I want to normalize that everybody's style of showing up on camera is unique to them. And if you are robotic because that is just how you are and how you engage, that's fine. Right. So I just want to kind of normalize that. First of all, they say things like you shouldn't talk with your hands so much. I'm like, I don't care. My hands are a part of how I talk. And people be like, you should be sitting normal, this and that, or normal. Right. So I just want to, again, just kind of want to say to everybody listening and you as well. Is it Elizabeth Beth Slavara? What should I be calling you?
You can call me Slavara.
Slavara. Okay. Wonderful. So however you show up is how you show up. Now, if you're saying to me, I'm not normally robotic, but I get robotic on camera, is that what's happening?
I don't know. I used to do singing and performances, and I would just stand there and do this. Like, I'm not a performer.
Yeah.
So when I feel like I'm in performance mode, I am automatically just shut down.
Yes. Yeah. 100%. I agree. I'm the same. I'm just me all the time. Like who I am right now is who I am all the time. Like that,
That's
you know
great.
what I mean? That's just who I am. Because if I have to perform, I'm going to get real robotic real quick. Right.
Yeah.
And so I think it's also, again, we talk about the building the confidence. It is a big part of being okay with who we are and being the same on camera and the same on Facebook Live and the same on a stage live and the same with coffee with our friends. Like it is, I guess it is the unmasking,
Mhm.
right? And the being who we are. That is a complicated topic, unmasking, and there, there's safety, there's, what might alienate versus what will not. So I get that is a bit of a tightrope to walk, but it is a level of unmasking to a point that I still feel safe. And because I do masking to a point that I am still somewhat contained. I'm not just this just any autistic, so you get that. There's always a little bit of masking. I'm always a little contained,
Yeah.
But I'm not so contained that I have this assumption that people won't like me being weird and sharing weird examples or randomly laughing hysterically. Like I'm not so contained. I have trust that people that resonate with me are going to enjoy me.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah,
and
that
so
makes sense.
right. And that's sort of a place I want. And that's something that take years to figure out, certainly months. So like, let's go easy on ourselves. But everybody, I really want you to think, what are the parts of me that I want to let people in on? The weird, quirky, funny, silly, dorky. I'm a super nerd. I'm always dropping real obscure, nerdy facts. It's going to happen, right? My friends just have learned if they want to be friends with me, they have to put up with my weird facts because I'm going to share them, right? So, like, what are the parts of you that you want people to know, right?
Yeah.
You don't have to answer that necessarily. Like, I don't want you to, I'm not going to go through, but I just want you to give some thought to that, right? So this is sort of more from a mindset perspective of like, where is that fine line of unmasking? What are the parts of me I do want to let people in on? What are the parts of me I want to let shine, right? Then from a technical perspective, have notes. I'm going to say right now, it is ableist of us and others to assume that people don't need notes, that people can memorize, right? I need notes. I can get real excited and my brain can go blank real quick. So I have notes, right? I get distracted,
Yeah.
The other thing is I have sort of a formula. So when I'm going to do a talk of any kind, whether it's a 1 minute reel or a 40-minute, whatever, I know there needs to be an intro. And I need to say who I am and what my business is and what we're talking about. I know I need to get into the meat and potatoes. I need to share clear points with clear stories or experiences to help contextualize those points. I know I need to pull the thread to connect the dots for people, and then I need a clear conclusion and wrapping us up. So I sort of have in my brain always running this sort of outline that I make sure I hit those points, right?
Okay.
So that also helps because I know I can get thrown into everything and I can hit all those points. I can ask myself at the end, did I pull the thread? While making a point, can I share? I can remind myself, did I share a story? Did I contextualize this? Am I just saying goodbye, or am I wrapping up with, here's where we're going to meet next? Here's how to connect with me, right? So it's sort of like you get these rules, right? For being able to present in a way that's cohesive, right? So we have notes, we have some sort of structure. Then the other thing is practice. And a lot of folks are talking about that, right? Like practice by being online with me, right? Like when I bring y'all up on here, this is practice, right? Also Marie said that she practices with her goddaughter at the moment, right? She did a webinar in her native language. And then after that, you said it was easier to do something short in English. What else do we have for examples? I want to see if there's more examples. So we practice. Turn your phone on to Instagram, go live, but set it to private.
Okay.
Right? Set it to private and just practice talking. Just practice talking. Go on podcasts where there may or may not be camera, but somebody else is asking you questions. So you can relax and let the other person do the work while you just answer questions and share stories.
Okay.
Right? Host a book club or a town hall conversation on Zoom. Invite people to come for a conversation and just prepare questions and practice leading by asking questions and letting everyone else have the floor to answer. Right? It's another great way to get comfortable talking, and that one's a little more talking on the spot, but the other people are doing the bulk of the work because you're just asking the questions.
Okay, I like
right?
that.
So just find opportunities to kind of get out there. One more thing I want to share, and this is going to sound so weird. This is so weird, but I feel like as autistics, we get it. I try to start every conversation with my head on my hand and my elbow on my table. I don't know why, but it makes me relax. It makes me be less robotic. It makes me relax. So find some physical cues for yourself that help you relax. Okay. Sorry, one more point. I mean, it's on video, so you can see yourself, but let's say you're recording an audio, put a mirror behind where your computer or whatever, because when we see ourselves and we'll be like I get real serious when I'm recording audio, I tend to get really monotone and my voice gets really like this. So then I'm like, oh, if I see myself, I remember to be animated. Right. So that's another one. That's more for audio. But you see, we got like some ideas, we got some mindset stuff. Tell me, and I want to hear in the chat as well. I'm going to share some of your comments in just a moment. Tell me, Silvera, what is something that you're already going, okay, I'm going to take these two things away?
I think that practicing and actually being on camera practicing.
Yep.
And I really like the idea of putting the mirror behind, because I tend to forget that I'm talking to people.
Yeah.
Instead of just a machine. So I like
exactly. Yes. So mirror behind and practice. Look for I like to tell folks, when you're new to presenting, first of all, don't be defeated and thinking you can't improve and you can't get better and you're always going to be this awkward bumblebee. Do you know what I mean? Like, we have to right away catch that fixed mindset and get into growth mindset. This is a skill, and if there's anything I'm good at, it's learning new skills. Right. Okay. And then look for any opportunity to speak, get on podcasts, get on Instagram lives. And I like going to other people so I can just show up. Right. And just practice doing your own by going live privately. Right. Just yourself. It's a skill. And I'm good at learning new skills.
Awesome. Okay. Thank you.
Cool. Anything else you want to share or ask before we move on?
No, I think that was very helpful. Thank you.
Cool. You're so welcome. Yay. And welcome to the community. Welcome to the membership. We're glad you're here.
Thank you.
All right. We'll see you soon. Okay. I want to share some of these comments that are coming through here. So Emery talked about the YouTube live I did with Tara McEwen. Oh gosh, that was 2-3 weeks ago. So if you go into the live section of my YouTube, you'll be able to watch the replay. It's fantastic. And this is what Tara does. She helps people, get on camera and feel confident telling their stories. What do we got here? Marie, lots of empathy with video confidence stuff. Yeah, I think it's a pretty universal thing. I'm going to be like a not so humble brag here and say one of the things I'm proudest of most is how many people come into my world really intimidated by public speaking and think that they're going to hate it and not want to do it and end up falling in love with it. And you cannot get these people off stages. They're starting YouTube channels, they're starting podcasts, they're going live all the time. And I think there's just something really special about realizing that you can develop the skill of being a fantastic, engaging, relatable public speaker. And there's something addictive about sharing your stories and seeing the impact it has on people and how you open people up by sharing your stories, right? Tiff, we got yes. And it got harder after I realized I was autistic and more self-conscious now. Yeah. And that's a matter of working with ourselves, not fighting ourselves. So there can be this, again, fixed mindset versus growth mindset, right? Have you all heard of that before? Fixed mindset, growth mindset. And that fixed mindset is sort of that the skills I have and the talent I have is fixed and I cannot get better. What I have is what I have, and that's my limit. Whereas the growth mindset is, no, I can always improve. I can get, I can work on my skills. I can get better. I can practice. And from a socialization perspective, if we look at people who are socialized as women, typically they are socialized to believe in a fixed mindset. The skills that they have are all that they have, and that's it. Whereas people who are socialized as men, generally speaking, typically are socialized with a growth mindset. They can do it, they can get better, they can learn. It is literally how we are socialized from birth up, right? And so just kind of realize that. And then again, if you are neurodiverse, you know what I mean, or a marginalized person, it really is reinforced this fixed mindset. So being aware that might be where you're at and starting to change the script for yourself, right? This is just a skill. I can learn skills. Why can't I learn this? I'm smart. I can learn things. I always think about when I was training for the triathlon, I did a few years ago, and I got to the swimming portion of my training. And I realized I thought I could swim. Well, not for distance. And I couldn't even make it a full lap, a full there and back. I couldn't make it. And so I had to learn how to swim for distance. I got lessons. I watched YouTube videos. I practiced and ran drills. And I love swimming now because it's something that I developed as a skill. Right. And so you can imagine if I just said, oh, I can't swim, and then dropped out. Like, no, I knew I could develop the skill. I'm stubborn that way. Right? So I want you to get stubborn, not in being fixed mindset, but stubborn with learning skills, right? We have Marie talking about the practicing with your goddaughter. Belle here saying it feels very vulnerable and I haven't done it much. So Belle, tell me, do you want to do more public speaking? Is that something that you're going to add to your roster this year in 2025? I just want to see if there's any more questions here. Yes, we got another one. Okay, who is this? This is Sue. Sue Pats, if you're here, I'm going to be bringing you up next. So let me get the link here. We're going to be doing you next. What else have we got here for comments? We've got Marie. It felt really good to hear from a client that my calmer energy is really good for them. Yeah, right? Yeah, I'm like chaotic energy when I'm speaking. I have to close my other set of blinds in a second. But yeah, I have another friend like that, Charlene Gethens, and she does mindfulness meditation stuff. And everyone loves how calming and grounding she is. Marie, also like having my fave people's pictures behind the camera. Yes, like I talk to them and feeling relaxed. And actually, I'm sorry, that's a really key point that I didn't bring up. When you're talking to a camera, this works really well if you're talking to like a blank screen or you're pre-recording something, right? Picture someone specific, right? Who is the person that what you were talking about? Who is this for? Picture them, right? Like when I'm on here, it's easy because y'all are in the chat and I can see you. And so I know that you're here and I'm talking to you, right? But when you don't have that, picture somebody. It will really help you. It'll help you like personalize, humanize what you're saying. We got Emery said, Savara, I need to practice being a podcast host. Want to practice together? Yes. Oh my gosh. Making my heart so happy. We got stupid, but a sugar high is good for me when being on camera. Why is that stupid? Why are you bullying yourself right now? Friends, do not be your own bully. Why are you bullying? Why don't you say smart? I realize that sugar is good for me for being on camera. right? It's like, why do I generally, I don't have it today because I was running late, but I generally have some source of sugar, or like whether it's sugar or a carb, or even a Coke Zero for a bit of the caffeine. I usually have something here because my brain gets tired as we are on here together. I always have something to help my brain keep going. Make me yell at you, Marie. I think you're kind on camera. You have a kind face and a lovely smile. Well, is that me or is that for Slavara? Because I think Slavara, if you're talking about Slavara, I keep thinking I'm saying like what's the Harry Potter thing? What is this Slytherin? What is you guys? What's the Harry Potter? Anyways, I keep accidentally wanted to say that. But yeah, Slavara is fantastic on camera, right? Who else noticed? I'm sorry, I forgot your pronouns. Who else noticed their calm energy? There was a groundedness. There's an inherent confidence that I picked up on, right? And so it really is the inside stuff we got to work on, right? And I'll say, what are the parts of you that you want to let other people in on, right? Start showing those. Yes, heck yes. All right, what else we got? We've got from Marie, kicking the butts. I would like to do a Facebook Live, but I'm nervous. I would like to do a Facebook Live and I'm nervous. Can do it anyway. Yes. I've said this before and I'll say it again. When Facebook Lives first became a thing, I was so in my head about it. It took me a year of thinking and planning and watching and observing and trying and then stopping and It took me a year to do it. Okay. And then once I finally kind of broke the seal, I just would be on every live possible all the time. Sure, that's overthinking, but I also know that's my process. So I don't beat myself up over that, right? Work with yourself. That is my process. I take a long time sometimes to action things because I do need to think it through and observe, right? So it's okay to be nervous. It's okay to take your time. But when you feel like you're ready, go for it. And again, you can always do it in private, right? Emery, yes, you guys. Oh, I love that so much. Lindsay, you are fabulous. This is my first hot seat and I love it. I need to leave, but we'll watch the rest on the recording. Fantastic. Yes. And I went and peeked and saw that you didn't submit a question. So I great. Next time, submit a question. I know you're new to the group. Okay, Marie, Lindsay, you're fab. Thank you. You guys are the best. Okay, unhealthy. Clever, but unhealthy. But what? Okay. Oh, wait, hang on. I don't know if Jennifer's gone. Before I leave, can I just add that once we get comfortable with our content and enthused about sharing, it's so much easier. Big one for me was to stop following my script word for word. Yes. If you want to follow a script, follow a script. But I do agree, the more you get comfortable with your content, the more you can go off script, right? Both are okay. This is why I always recommend go on podcast. I don't care the reach of the podcast, how big it is. I just want you to start practicing talking because the more you talk about the things that you do, the things you're passionate about, the more you share your stories, the more grounded you will get in your speaking and in the things you talk about. And then it just becomes second nature, right? Clever but unhealthy. Why? Why? I feel like I don't want to go into this right now, but I want to show you. I want to send you some Instagram reels. Like, we won't get into that right now. Emery, why is this in all caps? If I'm not chicken, then you're not stupid. Oh yeah, I forgot I called you out for calling yourself a chicken the other day. Val, Lindsay, right now, no, I don't want to do video. I'm pushing myself to do it more for my business. Fantastic. Slytherin, thank you. I was so like, it's right there. Yes, Belle. So I want to talk about this for a second, friends. I don't want to, but I'm going to for my business. So again, I always talk about like, if you really don't want to do it, we can find another way, right? We always want to think about what is the thing that I'm trying to accomplish. Other people are doing it this way, but can I do it a different way, right? And then there are times where we have to do the thing we don't want to do because it is imperative to our business. We do need to do it. I call this cleaning the toilets, right? Back when we had the restaurant, obviously all I wanted to do was make people's food and go chat with them and hang out at the drive-thru and say hi. And, we ate Mexican fast food restaurants growing up. I wanted to like be with the people and like make the food and do the fun things, but the toilet still had to be cleaned because That's a part of running the business, right? And so there are sometimes things in business that we have to do that maybe is not our favorite thing, but it is crucial for the business. In which case I say, where can we shift our perspective around this? Where can we shift our own mindset? Where can we stop fighting it and be in resistance and go, okay, how can I make this enjoyable for me? Right? How can I do this in a way that feels good and energizing for me? And if truly you cannot get there because you detest it so much, and again, this is sometimes it's outsourcing it, getting someone else to do it, right? But if we can't get there, then I'm going to say find another way. But I'm telling you, showing up on video, what if it's so fun? It's so fun. But if you're dead set against it, find another way. All right, we got Lindsay. I had to change my biz model this year after 2 years of health problems and not being able to work. I'm rebuilding my business, still trying to figure out my voice and value. Yeah. It's a journey. It's a journey. Yeah. Yep. All right. I was going to say too, Belle, if you come and join the membership, this is a question that you could submit for next month, and we could talk about, kind of what you're throwing around, and give you some info or input, and other folks in the chat will give you input as well. And yeah, good point. Already cleaning the toilets. Remember that. I use a lot of analogies from the restaurant days. Like the other one I use is, will it sell more tacos? Before you take action on something in your business, you have to ask yourself, will it sell more tacos? If it will not sell more tacos, you have to ask yourself how important it is right now to do. Okay. And the other one is, cleaning the toilets is a thing. All right. Sue is not here, but I want to see. Fantastic. Excellent. I love it. If we have time today, we can go into it, maybe even go into it today. Let me just see. Sue isn't here, but I want to see. Oh, that's right, because she was making some website changes from last time. Hang on one second, because the question is, I changed my website. Will you please review it? So I might give, I don't know if I'll give a quick review here. I might even do a review and put it in the Facebook group. Also, I don't like to do webinars, and two of my mentors keep on suggesting to do webinars. What other ideas can you suggest? What were we just talking about, right? I'm going live every weekday for 15 to 20 minutes, and somehow I like that over webinars. Let's talk about the difference between going live and doing webinars, yeah? And if anybody has a question related to this, let me know and I can bring you up on stage. Webinars or workshops, right? The purpose of that generally is to sort of promote it, pull people all together in one spot, do some sort of amazing training or workshop or process with people, right? And then potentially, if you have something that you want to sell, to say, if you want, you can purchase this thing, right? Whereas going live is more so about in the moment content that's a short little piece of information where people can watch it, consume it, learn more about you, and move on with their day. We don't typically sell things as much from going live, as much as we would as gathering everyone towards one spot with this webinar, workshop, whatever, and then that's where we would sell. So they are two different strategies. The other thing is, and I know for a lot of folks in my community and people who've been working with me, you've been hearing me talk a lot about going live on Instagram versus, let's say, going live on a YouTube. I will say that going live on TikTok, people will stick around longer on TikTok for going live. It's just the nature of the way people consume content. But I find on Instagram, a lot of people don't stick around on Instagram to watch lives. They don't really watch the replays. And so you're not really going to get the most bang for your buck, right? On TikTok, when you go live, TikTok, while you're live, pushes your content out to new people. So you're going to turn off your live and and I always tell people to try to go for at least an hour. You're going to get way more followers. You're going to have way more engagement on your content, right? So if you're going to pick a social media platform to go live on, TikTok is going to be my choice if that's a strategy you're using TikTok. On YouTube is you can schedule it in. Like I have a Calendly integration, so you can sign up your Calendly. It puts a link in your calendar as well as saves the time and the date. People can come join you. They comment in the chat. They're generally on your Bill Clinton. Hey, what's up? Anyways, they can join you live. They can comment. They can ask questions. They're usually at their computer, right? YouTube is meant for watching longer video. So if you're going to go live, I really want you to consider the app that makes the most sense, right? And tell me anyone else if you've had better luck with Instagram Live, but I find Instagram lives just don't have the payoff. They're great for practicing. They're great for the little Lindsay's now live. Like it's great for quick brand exposure, quick brand hit, but they're not really having the same effect. And people aren't clicking on things and going off to other things, right? Because if you click on a link, can you even share a link on Instagram lives? I don't even know if you can share a link, but if you do, it's taking them off the live. Whereas on YouTube, that doesn't happen. So just some strategic questions to ask yourself. Okay. I don't know. Did B ask a question? No, none. B, are you here? Are you with us? Are you in the room? What does this say? Great info about TikTok. Thank you. I'm wanting to do way more lives because I have reactions to things in the moment, but I don't know where to do them. Yeah, because this really is a question of, I always say you want to kind of think of having one place where there's SEO content. So YouTube, blog, podcast, okay? Some sort of long form content that you can leverage SEO, search engine optimization, to send people there, right? You have this longer resource that you can share out, that people will share out for you. You have this long form content. You're going to get more search results to your website. Like, you know what I mean? Like we want to do some sort of SEO content. But then there's the social media content. And social media content, if your business is currently generating revenue through social media content, great. Hang out there, play there, do more, okay? If your business is not generating revenue through social media, which for most service-based businesses, it doesn't. Most, not all, but most, okay? We want to think of social media as more of social proof and a way to nurture our existing audience, people who already know we exist. We send people there to stay connected with us, and then we continue to nurture, right? And so if you're going to go, whether that's TikTok, Instagram, even YouTube Shorts now, right? Where else? There's Facebook groups, right? If you're going to, I guess there's X if you guys use X. I've never used X. There's X if you want to use it, right? Like wherever you pick, it needs to not just be the social media platform that you enjoy, but it needs to be the media platform where your customer is and where your customer is looking for you. Sorry, I forgot about LinkedIn, right? So like if you work with a lot of companies or corporations or executive, employees or whatever, right? LinkedIn is probably where you want to show up because yes, they might be on Instagram, but they're probably not looking for your type of content there. They're looking for it on LinkedIn, right? If you're more like you work with creatives, right? And you're looking for a creative type folks, LinkedIn, sure, they might be there, but more than likely you're going to connect with them on Instagram, right? So it's really just, like if you're like Tiff, you need to be on TikTok, right? If you are in education, you are educating in some way, right? TikTok is where people go to consume educational stuff, right? Where they go to learn. So you want to be on TikTok. So you have to really think about who is my audience and where are they most likely consuming content like mine or looking for content like mine. That's where I'm going to show up. Does that make sense? So yeah, if you're wanting to do lives, because I think you can go live on LinkedIn too, right? If you're wanting to go live, it's really thinking about where your customer, your audience, your clientele is looking for someone like you, is consuming your kind of content. That's where you need to be. Like we said earlier, you gotta meet people where they're at, right? I can't stand TikTok, but I posted a reel the other day, and within 1 hour, I had a couple of saves. So if Instagram Reels is working for you, then go to town. Okay. I mean, truth be told, I don't like any social media. I hate it all. Social media are my toilets, guys. They're my toilets I have to scrub. So just know that when I post I haven't posted something on my Instagram grid in like 4 months. Just know that if I post something, that was me scrubbing the toilets. I didn't want to do it, or it was my assistant because it wasn't what I wanted to do. But when I'm here, this is my making tacos. This is my hanging out with customers. This is where I love to be, right? Anyways, so caveat with, I don't like any social media, but the reason I like TikTok over Instagram is that the algorithm is more sophisticated. It shows my content to more of the right people. And when I have something take off, it results in followers and engagement and stuff. Whereas on Instagram, even if something takes off, it results in nothing, no new followers, no one joins my email list. Like it results in nothing. So I'm like, what is the point? But that's me. If your experience is different, and when you have something take off on Instagram and people are following you and joining your email list, wonderful, fantastic. That was a pretty big indicator. Exactly. Vera, what are your thoughts? That reminds me, I need to post a TikTok today. I mean, that's where Vera and I met. We met on TikTok. I meet a lot of people in my life. I meet them on TikTok. TikTok is great for networking because the algorithm is showing you like-minded people, right? Yeah. What else we got here? Emery, giving me TikTok motivation. TikTok is I like, because I go live on TikTok. But to be fair, my TikTok is another account. It's called Fantastical Fatty. It's not I am the Radical Connector is over there, but I actually have a secondary account, a totally different brand called Fantastical Fatty, and that lives on TikTok. And so I go live and I do workouts and I post like fitness content or other just like random content. You can find me there, Fantastical Fatty, if you want. But yeah, that's where I go to play for that brand. All right, I want to check one more thing to see if I missed any other questions. I think that is it for questions for today. Yeah, it looks like it. I love it. Okay, so do you want me to cover anything else? Otherwise, we are going to start to wrap up today. Man, it has been a wild week, so I am psyched. This is my last thing for today, and then I'm going to, I don't know. Well, the new Deadpool movie is out, so I'm probably going to go watch the new Deadpool movie. Wait, Vera, you already know what I'm going to say. I discovered a new show that I am obsessed with, Discovery of Witches. Has anybody watched Discovery of Witches? I messaged Vera last night. I think it was like 11 something your time because I sent you a DM. And I was like, I'm losing my mind. I'm so excited. This is so good. I need someone to tell. I slapped my leg out of excitement so hard I think I gave myself a bruise. Discovery of Witches. Let me know if anybody else watches that. It's fantastic. So I might go have some lunch and watch that when we're done here. Oh my gosh. All right, well, I'll keep waiting for your questions to come in, but I'm going to go ahead and share a couple of links here in the chat before we get wrapped up. As always, if you're not already a member of the Ick-free Sales Membership, come and join us. That's where you get a chance to ask questions. I'm too tired. Hang on, I'm distracted. That's where you get to ask questions, but we also, I send you every Monday a new challenge and sales script to go do. We do all sorts of cool things online. And as I say, if you're ever feeling kind of lost on what to do for business development, kind of lost on how to get customers and like grow your reputation, get opportunities, get yourself in front of people, literally all you have to do is open your email every Monday and do the challenge. And if you just do the challenge, you're going to be like, whoa, after a few months, things are going to be rocking and rolling in your business. Yeah, Krista. Yeah, a fellow fan. Are we friends? I think we're connected on Insta, aren't we? Let's connect on Insta so we can talk about it. Yeah, if you're into those kinds of shows, it's so good. Okay, I want to share our year-end debrief. That is happening on when is that happening? December 11th. So please come to that. That is our big year end sort of like breaking down what the heck happened in our year. I have 15 different questions that we go through. You figure out what worked, what didn't, what you loved, what you didn't, so that you can set better goals and a better plan for next year. It is our 5th year of doing it. It is definitely a crowd favorite. So come sign up for that. That is free to attend. Then speaking of planning, once you do the year-end debrief, then come join us for Big Bold 2025. This is a paid event. It's a 4-hour full-on day where we do all your planning for the year, mapping out your promotional calendar, your marketing strategies, really what you're focused on growing and selling for 2025. This is our 3rd year doing this, another one that's a big favorite. So come and save your seat for that. If you are not already part of our Facebook group, come and join us over there. Hang on, I want to see what's kind of coming up here. We're going to be heading into co-working. So if you are like me and like so many people and you want to be doing the whole body doubling thing, come save your seat for our next co-working session. We meet on Zoom for that one. We play some music, we get our to-do list done, and we get ish done. What else have we got? Oh my gosh, how could I forget? We have next Wednesday. Oh, totally forgot. We have Kayla Walters coming on for our fireside chat to talk about, hang on, where is it? Talk about website horror stories. website horror stories. I can't wait. Hopefully she's going to bring some examples, but probably she won't want to put anyone on blast. But if you haven't already, come save your seat for that with Kayla Walters. Website horror stories. I'm super psyched. It's going to be epic. Anything else? Anything else? I think I think that's kind of it. So I shared a bunch of links for you, so come and join. Otherwise, you guys, this has been fantastic. Yes, let's talk about Discovery of Witches. This has been fantastic. You guys are the best. I love you all so much. Thank you for hanging out with me today. Say goodbye in the chat. We will see you Wednesday for Kayla's Fireside Chat, website horror stories, and then for co-working. And for those that are part of the Ick-free Sales membership, before co-working, we'll be meeting for monthly action planning, the most important session to come to. So you need to be a member of the Ick-free Sales membership to be able to come to that. But that is where we make a marketing and sales strategy for the month of December, and give you a very clear action plan to be following. So come and join that. That is the most important session. I cannot stress that enough. That is the one where I people usually tell me by their third month of attending, they are consistently knocking their sales goals out of the park, because they are eliminating all that busy work and they are getting so focused on the actual things that will move the needle, that will move their business forward. So come and join that. The most important session of the month, even though it's boring. I know it is. Planning is boring. I want to do the doing, not the planning. All right, you guys. Anything else before we go? I'm just giving a moment for any last minute comments to come in. Otherwise, we're out of here. I'm going to have some lunch and watch some Discovery of Witches. All right. Looks like we're good to go. Okay, everybody. Thank you so much for today. You are amazing. Go do something super cool today. Go talk to someone new and